And again, you're getting outside with the elements, so everything is all positive, and you have that relationship, a natural relationship, because human beings are just another component of the natural world. You know, so we're in our element when we're outside, you know, and all of that relationship of even being able to walk on the earth, all that energy, that positive energy comes up from the earth of, you know, being outside, walks in the park, all of that kind of thing, as opposed to, you know, taking walks along the sidewalk. Everything's cement, you know, so there is nothing coming up out of cement. So day in and day out, we even here on campus, like if you can get out and go for a walk, be sure and walk on the earth. Yeah, because that's where the positive energy, and if you can, go bare feet. And that's because of that grounding we have. That's our mother. You know, where better are we going to go to anything if we're feeling ill? Or that's kind of another Indigenous teaching of that, the spirituality of going outside. And you know, they say like go sit up against a tree or hug a tree, or it's real. It's real. It's because they're our relatives, you know, and they're so positive energy. They just suck that negative energy right out of us. They're there to support us. So as Haudenosaunee, our teachings are that the natural world and everything in the natural world are there to support the lives of the human beings. And the human beings' role is to be the caretakers of that. It's just that simple, you know, and it's the human beings that have failed in their job when we were created, to look after all these resources, because they're not asking for anything. They're just asking to be taken care of. They're still doing what they're supposed to be doing, you know. You know, they grow every year, they're feeding us, they're clothing us, they're keeping us warm. They ask for nothing except be thankful. And we're the caretakers of all that. So sure, anytime anybody gets a chance to go sit outside you know, that's all they want. They want you to be thankful, and they want to be able to help. So if you can picture that and teach that, especially to little kids, you know, they're more than happy. They can understand, you know. And it's not something that is really put to the forefront or be mindful of just in our daily lives, but it should really be a major component to take the time, you know. We'd be far healthier than the Mother Earth. Yeah, like she provides it all. She provides everything that we need to eat, you know, to keep warm, to clothe ourselves. So like any mother, it's like that. But the abuses that the human being have put on the earth, you know, is unforgivable. But she still keeps doing it, you know, just like any mother, I suppose. If you want to look at it, you know, just in the human world, like mothers, you know, how many times when the kids are growing up do they tell you they hate you? You know, like who does that to their mother? You know, but that idea of the mother's still there. You know, she's still there at your beck and call, or help wherever you can, even though you're abusive. You know, so growing up, yeah, so that's very much the relationship the human beings have with the earth. Yeah. I've heard teachings about the elements, air, fire, water. Yeah, there's nothing more powerful. You know, irregardless, you know, air is all the hurricanes and everything. Like what can man do about that? Nothing. You know, then the fires, look at the fires that are raging, you know, there's nothing, you know, fight as they may, it just wipes everything out. So, and the earth, it's still there, irregardless of, you know, they blast it and, you know, dig into it or whatever, move it from one space to another. It's like, yeah, it's the earth is still there, and pave it. So even in the pavement, you know, that idea of pretty soon after, you know, year and a half, you see grass growing. It can't be stopped, you know. So it's so alive and it's so strong. Yeah, so yeah, there are those elements and those teachings around that. The same elements, yeah. So I think Indigenous people globally all have that same relationship with the earth and the natural understandings. So irregardless of who it is we're talking to, and we look at the human beings in those four colors of man, right? So in Haudenosaunee teachings, there was four colors of man, and because man was, the human being was the caretakers, they were placed on different parts of the world because that was going to be their area of caretaking. So, so irregardless, Indigenous peoples, like, yeah, so we can go to Asia and talk to Tibet, Japanese, Chinese, you know, the spiritual connector or the traditional relationship to Earth is all the same. How that's practiced is what's different, but there's no question as to why. You know, same with you know, the black people coming out of Africa. They have the same understanding and the same teachings, traditional teachings, and the Indigenous peoples, the red people of North America, Turtle Island, there's hundreds of nations of people, but history would reflect that in North America there's never been a war over religion, ever, amongst red people. So that's just a total understanding of that spiritual relationship and connect of that, you know. There certainly were battles between nations and people, but nothing over spirituality or religion, say, of that as we saw through Europe, right? Yeah, so the idea of the spirituality, I think amongst Indigenous people globally, whether they're the Maori or the Sami or the Inuit, or it's all that connection that we as human beings have with Mother Earth and our surroundings. So that's all part of our traditional teachings.